Donald Trump's tariff threats have prompted all sorts of warnings and changes of plans. Now some Canadians with spring break travel plans are heading anywhere but south of the border. Travel consultant McKenzie McMillan says he noticed a dramatic dip in U.S. requests about 3 years ago. And McKenzie is here with us now. Appreciate you coming in. Yep. Thanks for joining us. How many cancellations have you had?
Yeah, so in our office in particularly, we've had a number of cancellations. I wouldn't put an exact number on them, but quite a few. After speaking to other agents in Vancouver and also in other parts of Canada, it's definitely a trend that we're seeing now. So we're seeing people either outright canceling trips they already had booked, leaving deposits on the table, leaving money behind, saying they're absolutely not going. Or we're also seeing people planning their holidays for the summer, for spring break, and are pivoting now to other destinations before actually making a booking.
For those who have changed their plans or canceled their plans, where were they heading most in the U.S.?
So here in Western Canada, the major destinations for either family travelers or for, friends traveling, young couples, it's really Las Vegas, Phoenix, Palm Springs, Los Angeles, San Diego, and Hawaii. Those are the big ones for Western Canada.
Because you've got sun and you've got heat and it's not that far away.
And it's everything that it's not outside here right now.
When it comes to the people who are canceling their plans, how much money are they leaving on the table?
So it really varies. It depends what people are doing. So we could have travelers heading to Hawaii that have put deposits down thousands of dollars for hotel packages, or we could have guests that are heading to Las Vegas for a quick weekend, might have, had a couple $100 down as a deposit. And then there's also airline tickets, right? So those vary dramatically depending on where you're going to as far as cost goes.
Now, we've heard that some of this is due to the tariff threats from Donald Trump. How much is it as well to do with the low Canadian dollar?
So I think that we've always had kind of a hesitation about traveling to the United States when our dollar's been at a particularly low point. But I think we're also kind of used to being in that sort of 70 to 80 cent on the dollar range. So I don't think
it's lower than that.
It's lower than that now, yeah. But we're not seeing too much of a push from clients. We're not hearing a lot of clients saying it's the dollar that's the issue. It's definitely more about the emotional impact of the tariffs and the 51st state comments that we're hearing.
Are any of them telling you where they're planning to go instead? Are they going to go and stay in Canada, travel somewhere here, or are they heading off to Mexico or elsewhere?
Yeah, we're certainly hearing a lot of Canadians think about traveling within their own backyard, seeing other parts of the country, or even staying hyper-local, going to regional destinations here in British Columbia. But we are also hearing a lot of clients saying, I think we'll go to Europe this year. This is the year we're going to take that Europe trip, or Mexico is definitely going to be a popular option, again, because of its proximity and also because of how well our dollar does.
For somebody who has booked something, wants to either rearrange or cancel, how easy is it for them to get their money back?
So it's really hard to say because airlines, hotels, everyone has very different policies and procedures. One thing most travelers should know is that when they have airline tickets, they can cancel it, and that money is not always lost. If you work with basic fares on airlines, your money is probably gone for good. But if you have a standard fare, flexible fares, you actually have generally about a year to use the value of that ticket. Now, you may lose some of the taxes along the way, but you can usually rebook to any destination that airline flies. And with hotels, a majority of hotels in the United States don't pre-charge, but they do sometimes have cancellation policies. So if you have booked a hotel, say in Las Vegas, and they've got a 72-hour or 1 week cancellation policy, and you book directly through them, it definitely doesn't hurt to at least call the hotel and see if they're willing to make an exception. We have heard a lot of hoteliers in the States that are aware of the situation and a little bit more sympathetic towards Canadians that are wishing to cancel right now, so it never hurts to ask.
And lastly, we appreciate your time. For somebody who's rethinking a trip, do you have recommendations either in Canada or elsewhere?
Well, it's a big wide world out there. There's a lot of different places, depending on what you're looking for. As far as proximity goes, I think Mexico is going to be a really great choice. Get that fun in the sun and not spend 7 hours on a flight. Europe, again, is going to be very popular. I always recommend Europe, but our dollar does not go super far against the euro. But Southeast Asia is another one. A lot of people find it apprehensive about booking Southeast Asia because of the long distance flight and the cost of that flight. But your dollar goes incredibly far down there. So you can usually end up saving a lot of that cost that you spend on the flight in the long run.
All right. McKenzie McMillan, we appreciate your time and your expertise. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.